What is up, guys? It's Fatty P here with Fatty's Finance, and we are back with another video explaining my situation and where I'm at financially right now. I feel like that is the best follow-up video to last week's, and you guys are going to get a little bit of a deeper dive into where I'm at financially and how far along I am on this journey. So I tried recording this video yesterday and posting it on YouTube, but it ended up being almost a half hour long, which, nobody wants to really sit around for a video looking at someone else's finances for that long, right? So I'm recording it again today. Hopefully I can trim down the fat and just get right into what is important. So I want to focus on this box that I've highlighted right now. My desired FIRE income comes out to $60,000. That is annual expense money to spend. How did I get that number? Well, as you can see over here, my yearly salary, I make $62,400 right now, and I can live a pretty comfortable life off of that number. So I decided to choose something pretty similar to that, and that came out to my target FIRE number at $1.5 million. And as you can see, this formula up here multiplies that 60K by 25. Why? It's a great question. There's a guy in Humphrey Yang's video that has figured out if the market averages 7 to 10% a year, you can pull 4% of that a year and still make money on that money invested in the market or saved. And that is where the $60,000 and the 1.5 million come into play. I wish to have 1.5 million in the market and saved up. I can pull 4% of that each year, which would be my $60,000 of annual expenses, and theoretically never run out of money, because if the market averages 7 to 10%, I will have 3 to 6% still compounding. Over here, I have my yearly salary at $62,400. That's what I make at my full-time job right now. I'm able to save a lot of money. I'm able to do the things that I want to do in moderation. And so that I get paid bi-weekly. That comes out to $5,200 per month. After taxes is about $900 subtracted from that, which gives me $4,300, as you can see right here. And then to get this 1.3, I just subtracted my per month expenses, which comes out to about $3,000, $36,000 annually. And that is after each month, I should, roughly save about $1.3 thousand. You may see this $900,000 right here and wonder what that means. Conservative FIRE, and that is my annual expenses times that 25 or 4% of $900,000, and it gives me that number. So if I had a floor to shoot for when it comes to FIRE, that would be the number. My ideal number, the one that I'm looking at right now, is 1.5 million. Over here on the left, I have everything that is financially tied to my name. All these numbers are sort of rounded to make it easier for this video. So it's not an exact match, but yeah, I organized them from most to least just to make it a little bit easier for this video and for you guys to follow along. So real quickly, we'll go through these. I have a Roth IRA. I have about $25,000 invested in my Roth right now. And you might notice this column here. That is the allocation percentage of each paycheck that goes into their each respective account. So I put about 15% of my paycheck. Now, Roth IRA is post-tax, so that's after I get taxed. It goes directly into my account and invests in compounds. 401k is next. I have about $9,000 in there right now, completely vested. My company vests the money, their match money, immediately. I allocate 10% of my paycheck towards that account. My company matches 6%. So that is growing pretty healthily right now, and I'm super excited to see where that takes me. Next, I want to go into my high yield savings account. It's about $3,000. Also, another 10% allocation from each paycheck. Moving down to my health savings account. This is another account that is sponsored or sponsored by the company that I work for, and I have about 5% allocated, which is the max amount per year that I'm able to allocate towards that account. Right now it's sitting at $2,000 to $2,200. I do believe in Bitcoin. I know that's a hot topic for the majority of people when it comes to investing their money. It's a very volatile asset, but the research that I have done personally, it's not super extensive, but it's enough for me to believe in the blockchain technology. So I invest in it. And right now I have about 0.4 BTC, stacking sats, as they say. And that right now, Bitcoin isn't doing too hot at the point of this video. And so it's worth about $2,700. But some would say that's a great buying opportunity. Next is my taxable brokerage account. I barely touch this thing right now because, to be honest with you, I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to investing on my own, other than low-cost index funds, which is primarily my portfolio. So I just have $500 sitting in there in some random stock. I have GameStop because Roaring Kitty came out with, a video, I think it was last year, where he started a live stream for the first time, and I think since the GameStop rise in 2021 or 2. So I just threw some fun money in there and decided to stick it to the man. Moving on to my first checking account. This is kind of the funnel for all of my money. It's how I pay off my credit cards. It is where my paycheck allocates to after all the percentages have gone to their respective accounts. Right now I have about $800 in there, and this could change drastically from week to week depending on how much I spend on my credit cards, or if there is a sudden expense that I need to cover. Like we're moving in a month, so maybe I'll have to buy movers or something. I don't know. I just have, $300 to $500 normally sitting in this account to cover any unknown expense that could be up to that cost. My second checking account here is one that I do not touch. This is the first checking account I've ever had, but I do keep $170 in there just so I don't get charged their, dumb fee for not having enough money in there. In total, that comes to about $43,170. To be honest, that is more than I thought it was. I do have a budgeting app. It's called Copilot. I love this app. It's the only budgeting app that I've ever had, and it's the only one that I feel like that I need. I'm not looking for any other budgeting app because this one does everything that I want for pretty low cost. I will link that in the description if you guys want to check that out and start managing your money a little bit better. So as you may notice, this is also 40% of my annual salary saved, which is pretty solid, I think. Gauging from what I read on Reddit pages or the internet. I read yesterday financial planners suggest 15 to 20%. It's actually quite funny because yesterday's video I thought the average American saved 20%. That couldn't be further from the truth. After I looked it up, it's 3% average per American, which was super shocking. I wasn't even close to that number. I guess I'm a little bit out of touch when it comes to saving money just because I've been doing it for, quite some time. But I understand people's situations are different, a lot more different than me. Some people have it better. Some people have it worse. This is just where I'm at right now. I think 40% is a pretty conservative number. Here comes a cat. I think 40% is a pretty conservative number when it comes to saving money. To the extreme frugalist, those are rookie numbers, and maybe I could look to pump those up somehow, but I don't want to shoot myself in the foot or string myself too thin when it comes to paying off my credit cards, because again, I spend roughly around $3,000, which is everything: rent, food, and car, plus all the other leisurely activities that I do. I want to keep that relatively the same. I want to make sure that I can pay those statements off each paycheck is what I like to do. This brings me down to the personal finance steps, and you guys can get this list directly off the r/personal finance subreddit. I just pulled them here so we can walk through them a little bit and see where I'm at personally. First one is build 3 to 6 months of expenses. As you can see, my high yield savings account isn't that. I kind of bypassed this one because I can pull cash from other accounts if push comes to shove. And so this one I kind of, crossed off and went down to the others, but still building towards my savings in case, God forbid something happens. Next one is employee sponsored matching fund. This is anything that my company would match as long as I allocate money to that account and meet their threshold as well. For that is going to be my 401k and my health savings account. They don't allocate anything other than those two accounts, which is fine. I'll take what I can get. Right now, I'm taking full advantage of those. Third is pay down high interest debts. I'm very fortunate to be in a situation where I don't have to worry about this right now. I have my student loans paid off. I got some help from my mom and pop from that, so shout out mom and pop. But right now, no high interest debts, no debts really other than my credit cards that I pay off bi-monthly. Fourth is contributing to an IRA. I already do that right now. It's where I allocate most of my money because I want that tax-free when I turn 59 and a half. Also, all contributions, if I were to pull from that, are tax-free as well. The last two kind of go hand in hand. It just says save more for retirement, save for other goals. This would just be my 2 retirement accounts right here, which, I could pump these numbers up if needed, but I would need to grow my annual income or my monthly income in order for me to do that. So right now they just sit where they are. And then save for other goals would just be, maybe pumping this number in my high yield savings account. But again, these percentages work for me right now. And so I'm not going to change it unless my monthly income increases. Before I end off this video, I want to come down to this last section of cash flows. This kind of ties into the entrepreneur strategy of FIRE, which is building separate cash flows that funnel money into your accounts every month. One of those cash flows that I have been trying to build is this YouTube channel. I want to be clear and honest up front that I am building this channel, not only to try and inspire others to pursue a FIRE journey, but also make a little bit of money on it to where I can, monetize this channel. I enjoy making YouTube videos. I think it's pretty fun. So why not try to make a little bit of coin? Other than that, I don't have any other cash flows. I am working on a separate video that kind of explains one of the possible side hustles that I've been trying. So we'll get to that next week's episode or sometime in between. Lastly, I wanted to uncover the financial percentage that I am at, aka how far I am along my journey compared to this number right here. I'm going to uncover the percentage and you and I are going to see what it is live. Bam! 3%. You might be thinking, man, he has a long way to go. And you would be correct. All good stories don't start when they're 90% done. So 3%, I'm pretty excited to see that number just because this is the first time I've seen it in a physical sense of where I'm at compared to where I want to go. 3% you could say is kind of a North Star to see it as a lot of growth to be had, a lot of progress to be made. And that is why, again, I'm making this channel so I can be open and honest about that growth, that progress, what I'm doing. And that'll wrap up this week's video. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you tuning in on the second episode of this journey. I did take a look at the earning page on YouTube, and in order for me to start earning a little bit of income, I do need 500 subscribers. So if you like today's video, please leave a like, drop a comment down, and also subscribe if you want to follow along the journey. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video.